Hello everybody, Tate Davis here with another album battle video for you. Hope you guys had a happy Thanksgiving. I sure did. And I look forward to presenting these two combatants to you. So in one corner, we got one album released in 1970 by a band from Detroit, Michigan, Frigid Pink. A band I love quite a bit. If you like kind of early Grand Funk Railroad and that late 60s, early 70s garage rock, you'll love this band. If you like the MC5 too, maybe a little bit more mellower version of the MC5 and not quite as heavy as the Stooges, but they were kind of one of the bands to pop out of that scene. So here's the guys in the band there. This is the Repertoire Records reissue. I got this last year, I think. There you go. And in the other corner, a supergroup signed to Led Zeppelin's label Swan Song Records. Bad Company, Run with the Pack from 1976. This is their third album. Pretty cool. I think it was a Hypnosis cover, this one. Nice silvery album cover here. There's the guys in the band. Alright, so this one first. So, Frigid Pink. This one was released in 1970. Like I said, this is their first album. This was a pretty big album for the band. They had a version of House of the Rising Sun that made the top 10 in the US and the UK and a whole bunch of European territories and stuff like that. In the band here we have Tom Beaudry on lead vocals. His stage name was Kelly Green. Rick Stevens on drums. Tom Price on bass, and then Gary Ray Thompson on guitar. Gary Ray Thompson, pretty influential guitar player with the way he used fuzz and whatnot in his playing. So it opens up with this song called God Gave Me You, which is a ballad. Kind of weird for an album to open up with a ballad, but nonetheless it's a great ballad. It's one of my favorite songs on the album. Beautiful vocals by Tom Beaudry in that. Crying Shame, great hard rock song, very raucous, great drumming by Rick Price on it. I'm on My Way, cool boogie tune. Driving Blues, another kind of mid-tempo bluesy rocker, really good. Tell Me Why, really good album closer, some great vocals by Tom Beaudry in that. Flip over the vinyl, opens up with End of the Line on side 2. Really great song, their version of House of the Rising Sun. I like the Animals version better, but this is a very good version. It's in 4/4 time instead of 6/8 like the Animals is. And some really cool guitar lines from Gary Ray Thompson on this. And some kind of Keith Moon type drum fills going on with Mr. Price. Quite a good version, but I like the Animals version a little bit better. I Want to Be Your Lover, another great kind of tribal sounding hard rock song. Some kind of really good toms by really good tom work. 16th notes on the toms from Mr. Thompson on here. And then closing it off, I think we have a live track. I don't know where it was recorded, but called Booze and Blues. Really good kind of moody bluesy tune. So overall, a strong effort. I like my favorite album by this band is their Earth Omen album, which I've already talked about on the channel, but you can't go wrong with this one. This one and then their follow-up, Defrosted, had the same lineup on it. I think they had another keyboard player that joined them at the second album, but after that, Gary Ray Thompson and Tom Beaudry would leave, and Craig Webb and John Wider, I think his name was, came in on vocals, and they released the Earth Omen album, which sounds completely different. Sounds a lot like Uriah Heep, but this one is a great one. The production on it's a little muddy, but you know, that's kind of what it was for the time. You know, kind of a lot of the Detroit bands had kind of the same really muddy production. Although I think this was a lot better produced than the Stooges albums. But really good nonetheless. This is the Repertoire Records reissue. It sounds really good, I think. Repertoire Records is a reissue label out of Germany that reissues a lot of these underground bands, although Frigid Pink not really underground, but they release a lot of the second tier and third tier bands from that era. But nonetheless, great album. Coming in on the other side of the ring, Bad Company, Run with the Pack, I should say. It was recorded in France at the Chateau at the Stoltens Mobile Unit, September of 1975. Engineered by Ron Nevison. Produced by the band itself. Mixed by Eddie Kramer. Kosh, I think, designed the album cover for this. Photography by David Alexander. He took the photo on the inner gatefold there. So on here we got Paul Rodgers on lead vocals and guitar and piano. Mick Ralphs on guitars, Boz Burrell on bass, Simon Kirke on drums. Opens up, this is kind of the third album by the band. They were continuing their success after the debut, Self-Titled and Straight Shooter. Had a top 10 hit with the version of the Coasters' Youngblood. I think it was originally done by the Coasters. This one, I think, saw a little bit of a slip in sales for the band, but nonetheless, it was still successful. It opens up with, opens up with Live for the Music. Great way to open up the album. Great Rodgers vocal on it. The band's tight. Simple Man, which has always been one of my favorite Bad Company songs, written by Mick Ralphs. Great ballad. Honey Child, great kind of bluesy rock tune, mid-tempo tune. Love Me Somebody, which is a cool little ballad written by Paul Rodgers. And then closing it off with the epic title track, some great piano work and vocals by Paul Rodgers. Great drumming by Simon Kirke, great guitar solo by Mick Ralphs. One of my favorites on the album. Flip over the vinyl to the other well-known hit from this album, Silver, Blue, and Gold, which is a great kind of catchy, poppy, R&B flavored tune. With some great vocals by Rodgers, kind of giving us a little hope through the current situation that we're in when I listen to the song. Their version of Youngblood, kind of cool for what it is, probably my least favorite song on the album. It's fun, it's catchy. Do Right By Your Woman, which is another fun little ballad written by Paul Rodgers, some really good acoustic guitar work in that. Sweet Little Sister, which is written by Mick Ralphs, really, really fun song with one of my favorite Paul Rodgers vocals. Great bass work by Simon Kirke, or by Boz Burrell in this. And then closing off the album, we have Fadeaway, probably my second least favorite song on this album. It's good, kind of weird for Bad Company to do like a really dark ballad. Well, dark in lyrical content and in mood. Shooting Stars, kind of a dark song, considering what happens to Johnny at the end of the song. But kind of weird for Bad Company to do a type of tune like this. But overall, probably my second or third favorite Bad Company album. I listen to this quite often. I really like it. So when it comes down to it, when it comes to picking, I really love both of these albums, but in comparisons like this, I tend to go to 90% of the time go with the one that I have more history with. In this case, Bad Company wins this. I love this, but I've only recently really gotten into Frigid Pink, maybe like 2 years ago. Bad Company is a band I've loved since high school, since freshman year of high school, so I have much more history with Bad Company. Bad Company are literally one of my favorite bands of all time. Simon Kirke, one of my favorite drummers of all time. So, it's not by much, but the guys in Frigid Pink put up a good fight, but in the end, Rodgers and Ralphs kind of knock them dead. But you know what? If you like this one better, doesn't really matter which one I like better. It's just an excuse to talk about these two great gems from the 1970s. So with that being said, thank you guys very much for watching. and we'll see you guys later with more videos. Bye-bye.